Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today let's go over a hard level question in the premium category in the database category that I just solved on my own. So I'm super happy about this and I'm very glad that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question without any assistance. So let's go over it and let me show you how I did it. This is number 1479, sales by day of the week. So pretty self-explanatory for each day of the week and each item category. Those are the two columns we're concerned about. Record exactly how many quantities we have. So notice that the item number here maps to the item category, and then the day of the week is given by this, which I'm going to show you how to get the day of the week. So let's just call this cur. Let's just call this weekday is orders order dates, and this is the way to get the weekday. So it's day week. I forget what the API is called, but I think it will make suggestions. Day date, day name. Okay, there we go. Cool. Takes a few tries, but that's fine. And then we can turn this into a list. Okay, so now that tells you literally in order from left to right here, top to bottom there, what day of the week it is. Cool. So now we can go ahead and we're going to want to map the item ID to the item category so we can get that. So let's call this cat is a dictionary for I. Let's call this V and enumerates items item ID. So cat of V is going to be equal to items item category of I. Cool. So now that we have that and the day of the week, those are the two axes that we're concerned about, here and here, here and here, right? So one is the y-axis, this is the x-axis, you can think of it like that. And so now let's loop through the orders table. Orders, let's call this the order dates. So the actual weekday, or let's call this day, is just going to be cur, or weekday of I. Cool. So now let's get this. So the day is Monday, for example, and then the item itself is supposed to be cat of, so the item ID is orders item ID of I. So let's just call this item ID. And now we have our composite key that is going to be useful because Monday and book, for example, is going to be one key. And let's call this quantity is default dictive type integer because we're going to record all the quantities for these two together. So Q of day cat item ID, we're going to add the orders quantity. We don't care about the rest of these columns, right? So orders quantity of I. Cool. So now that we have that, we are going to need all the days of the week. So let's call this weekday, Monday, Tuesday. I'm sure there's a faster way to do this, but that's fine. This is my way of doing it. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Cool. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, make sure I'm spelling that correctly. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Awesome. So now let's go over each, because we're going to have these items. So let's call this items. Let's call this all items. We don't want to cross with the name of this table. Items, item category. And we're going to want to turn this into a set, right? And then we're also going to want to sort this because, so this is going to turn it back into a list that's sorted because we want this to be sorted by alphabetical order, BGPT, as it says right there. Result table ordered by category. Cool. So now for item in all items, and then let's do for K and Q, let's call this the value is QK, And let's go ahead and print the item and the value, or just item and K, just to see what we're working with. Okay, so Monday and book, Tuesday and book, Wednesday and phone. That's not what we're looking for. Let's just go ahead and print. Oh, we need the day of the week, right? So for day in weekday, let's print item and day. So we still want the composite. Okay, awesome. So now you can see book for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's why I made this into a set, so we don't have duplicates, because this might have duplicates. And same with glasses, phone, t-shirt. Perfect. We're on the right track. So now we have to get that value, which is just going to be Q of, so the day and the item. I did it in reverse order. That's fine. And let's go ahead and print item, day, and value. And should line up. So, okay. So now for each row, let's call this row is going to be item. And we're just going to append the value because everything else is already sorted in order. So let's print the row. And that should give us everything we need. So book, glasses, phone, t-shirt. Awesome. So now we just have to make the category and we're honestly pretty much done. So let's count the answer. Let's append row this, dot copy, this the same thing. And now let's go ahead and create. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different columns. So this one's going to be fun. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For V and answer, A dot append, V0. Again, this is probably a bad way of doing it, but again, this is my very own solution, which is the purpose of my channel. So that's that. So bear with me as we do this. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, so now let's create an empty data frame. Let's set the category column is, nope, category is equal to, that's actually just going to be all items. And then Monday, let's just do, well, that's fine. A, Tuesday, let's just return this to see if we're on the right track. A, B, C, D, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we're on the right track and these have to be capitalized. D. So the first column is a pain, but that's fine. I'll just set it manually as I'm doing now. D, E, Saturday, F, Sunday. Wait. So A, B, C, D, E, F. Well, we can actually just do B, C, D, E, F, G, and H, right? So let's run this. Okay, submit it. And there you go, passes all test cases. So again, I'm super happy that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question without any assistance and solve it completely on my own. So that's it for this video, and thank you for watching.